anything daft.
That's true. I know. I know. You see those things, don't you, on the telly all the time? Oh, so Hobbs. Why don't we introduce ourselves? That'll be useful, wouldn't it? So I'll start, and then if we go around on my screen, just say who you are, maybe where you live, not your address, because that would be creepy. And maybe just how long you've been a part of Coast to Coast Vineyard family, right? Would that be a good idea?
Oh, you need to take them out now.
Oh, with the
Dogs just come in.
So Andrea, you start.
Hi, guy. I'm Andrea, and we.
Oh, here somebody's coming.
Here's the Medinas. We'll wait on the Medina. We'll hold pause. Just pause 1 wee second.
Oh,
That's exciting, isn't it? Hazel. Hazel, we're excited about you coming.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can't see them.
Oh dear, that wouldn't do at all, would it?
No, not at all.
Oh dear, hang on to see. Start video.
Just great for people to be able to put our face to the name.
Oh, here's it.
There we go.
Who's the good looking bloke behind you?
Absolutely. There you go. You have to say hi. He is hiding.
Okay, well done. You made it. So so if you don't mind, we're recording it so we can send it around to everybody else. Unless you have any kind of,
No.
It'll cost you £500.
Yeah. Anybody need to talk to their agent or
I'm just
anything?
going to let the dog out again because he's only going to.
So we're going to go around really quick because I know we're on a 40-minute timer because we can't be bothered paying for that official Zoom thing. So we're just going to go around and say who we are, where we live, and how long we've connected with Causeway Coast Vineyard as our church family.
All right. So I'm Andrea, and we live in Coleraine, and we've been really with Causeway Coast since more or less the very beginning. So for over, how long has that been going now? 20?
Well, it was August 1999 we arrived.
So, yeah. So pretty much, I think there was only, I think when we came, there'd only been 8.
We were 18.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
So it was really small back in those days. So yeah, we've been there since then.
Yeah, and likewise, my name's Dave and I live here. That's us, right? Okay. Hutch and Debbie, you're next on my screen.
Okay, I'm Debbie. This is
Hutch or Raymond, whatever.
and we live in Coleraine, and we've been at the vineyard from the time it was in the Montague. So
I thought it was going to the pub, but it was actually turned into a church.
Brilliant. Jenny, it's you.
Hello. So I am kind of started. So I'm here with Kate, this is not Kate.
Hello.
Zoe, who's meant to be going to bed. And Kate, and Corey.
Just full of mischief.
Go away, you can't go away. We've been in church for about 8 years.
Brilliant.
Brilliant, thanks. Next, we have Roddy and Jenny.
Yeah, I'm Jenny. We live in Akadui, and we've been coming to Vineyard for about 3.5 years since we moved up here. So
Where from, Jenny? Where did you come from?
we were living in Donaghadee.
Oh, okay.
ah,
29.
Yeah, we were there for about 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wherever everything is.
Right. Right, junior team Hull.
Or junior team Hull. I'm Matt. This is Rebecca or Becky. Depends. We've been going to Vineyard for about 3.5, 4 years. So we've been living up the north coast a wee bit longer than my mum and dad, who are on this corner for me. And we are kind of halfway between Akadui and Castle Row. So Killaveny direction. So yeah.
Brilliant.
very
Brilliant.
good.
Okay. Right, we're going to the bottoms. We are going to the Bedinas, Team Bedina.
Right.
Okay, I'm Hazel and this is Michael and we live in Coleraine. And we joined when in the Edgewater Hotel when it was there. It was about 30. So we were Yeah,
Not long after Hutch and Debbie and
yeah,
Dave and Andrew.
yeah.
Aye.
So, yeah, it's been amazing changes all through the years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then Stuart, you're last but not least, you're kind of right up there.
Hi, I'm Stuart, married to Gillian, who should be here too, but she's delayed. We've been going to the vineyard from, it was in Dunstore, so don't tell me how many years that has been. And we live in Ackadoo.
Go and
Yeah,
tell me
yeah.
you love Ravella.
Right.
It looks lovely. It looks lovely
Oh,
out that
you-
window anyway.
You look like you live in the White House or something.
It's, no, it's grey. That's sunny Ackadoo for you.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's
So it's really interesting that some of us were around in church when it felt like a smaller community and we kind of knew each other, because we have literally known, well, I've known Hutch and Debbie and Michael and Hazel for donkey's years, haven't we?
Mm.
You know, we've
Yeah.
known each other for donkey's years. And this is what excites me about Hubs. It's that big church resource and big church, you know, the things we can do as a big church that small churches can't, but the potential for that smaller sense of community and that smaller sense of church family. You know, one of the things that honestly, if a hand on my heart breaks my heart is when I see people come into church, or even I've done it, and you go in and there's hundreds of people there and it can feel like the loneliest place on earth. Because if you're not sitting with people you know, or maybe you just don't know anybody, it's just like, oh, and even if there's loads of people around, it still doesn't necessarily have that connection for you. And I don't know if you ever felt that. You know, I would even feel it because I've spent most of those years upstairs serving with the kids. You know, I would feel it sometimes if I'd come down and stand at the back and I'd be like, oh, Lord, I don't know where I fit. And for me, the dream of Hubs is that we get to have this smaller family within a bigger family, if that makes sense. And not in an exclusive way, because you never want to be exclusive. But it means that when we go to church, we know people. Does that make sense? It's like, you know, when I go to church now and I see Becky, you know, I'm like, I know Becky because Becky's in my hub. You know, and I have that point of connection, if you like. So for me, this is really exciting. You know, I feel like as a big church, this is something that we've tried to work hard at it with small groups, and small groups are brilliant. You know, and I love small groups, but I also realize that not everybody can get to a small group. You know, for whatever reason, maybe it's because your kids are young, or you're working evenings, or maybe you just feel that introverted that you don't want to do that kind of sense of small group. I don't know, for whatever reason. So I feel this has the potential to fill in a lot of those gaps. That's a pause for somebody else to speak.
Not a pause.
I thought you just frozen.
That's right. So I would hate to say I'm leading the way on things, but my health hasn't been great this past number of years, and my only way of connecting with people was I couldn't sit through a service. So what I did was I used to drive my van and sit outside the church. I used to talk to people coming in and out and things like that there, and you know, like Stuart would have stopped and talked to me on different ones, and it was my way of staying connected. And then whenever this pandemic hit, I found myself in the house, and I found myself just calling people most days, keeping in touch, do you know what I mean, different friends, things like that there. And I know how much I appreciated whenever people rang me and got to hear things and things like that there. So I done ESOM about 7 years ago, and one of the things was you had to write like a letter. What in a few years' time, what you wanted to get out of ESOM, or and one of the things I put in the bottom of it was, in a few years' time, I wanted to be part of a pastoral team, right, within the church. Now, it's impossible for Neil to pastor everybody and things like that there, but I think we could pastor each other if we get into each other's lives. We help each other, we encourage each other and things like that there, and that's something I'd be passionate about, and it's something that I try to do on a daily basis. My job and my because I'm employed, I mostly work from the house. I'm on the house all the time now, so a lot of my work's done through the telephone, and I just find myself throughout the day just ringing people up, asking how they are, things like that. There's I'm going to just mention that Michael's there. He lost his father a couple of weeks ago, and things like that there. And it's just nice to know that if you have a family that cares about you and that just wants to sort of, walk a journey with you and things like that there. And another friend of mine, Wally, lost it. They had to get a wee dog put down, and these are big things in people's lives. And it's just nice to know that we have support. Do you know what I mean? And so there you are. That's me shutting up now. If I talk too much, if I talk too much, I
yeah, but this is what is so exciting about Hubs, that we can be there for each other in the tough times, but also in the fun times. Like we want to be able to have fun together, and we're starting now to things starting to ease, and there is more that we can do, that we want to meet up, maybe go for a walk, but we also want to, if you have stuff that you want prayer for, that we can put it on a chat and we can all pray around that, so we want to support each other, but we also want you guys to support each other as well. And so it's not just from us four, but it's all of us, we're all in this together. And one way I think we're going to try and do that is by, have any of you ever registered for a service on site? Where you've had to use the Church Centre app?
Yes.
So on the Church Centre app is really good at letting us, when I show you, so the Church Centre app will let us be able to communicate together. So that's what it looks. So if you can see, there's a wee, well, you probably won't be able to see it. It's like a wee house, and it says Church Centre. Hold on, let's see.
Well, that's awkward. I don't actually have that.
There, you see that? You see that there?
Oh,
That's church.
yes.
Anyway, if you can see it, if you download Church Centre app, and then we're going to start and then have on it. So like, say if we decide we fancy going, it's a really nice day, some evening, it's a beautiful night, and we decide to go for a walk, we can put on there to the group, hey guys, we're going to go for a walk in Port Stewart. If you fancy meeting on the beach, we'll be meeting at 7 o'clock or something. And we will organise some like more organised events, but those are something that we can just do last. So any of you can put things on there. So you can put, you go and walk, or if you have a prayer request or anything, that you can put something into the message and say, look, I really would value prayer for whatever. But it's just a way that we can keep in contact without constantly sending emails and stuff to each other. So do you all think that's a good idea?
I've just done it.
You've just done it. So you have to get a code. They'll send you a code to the email address that you'll take a wee bit of.
And the thing is, we're all different, aren't we? Some of us are introverts, some of us are extroverts, some of us will throw ourselves into this, some of us will be sort of holding back a bit, and that's all good. It's not, there's no pressure to do anything. I guess apart from just be the body of Christ, isn't it? Just to love each other, just do what the Bible says. That's the pressure right there, which isn't pressure, it's a joy.
And the whole idea too is that although the four of us are managing the group, we're just facilitators. Everybody has sort of the equal share in sort of making the group what it is. So we just love any ideas, any participation.
Yeah.
And as Andrea said, if you're going out for a walk and you fancy some company, just put it on to the app and we'll see who turns up and we'll just take it from there.
Yeah.
I bought a new barbecue and I can't wait to get it lit. And that's one of the things.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things, once things change, that we will definitely be doing.
Having a barbecue.
So.
That's incorrect.
So that's
871. Good at him wrong.
Has anybody any aspirations or hopes from the group?
It knows me now.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea because I know from being in the church over the years that going into house groups and kind of they were sort of for a year, 2 years, and then it went back into group sort of settings with sort of 8 weeks. That kind of shortened the connection, and that's where which was really good because there's such diverse groups, and that was fantastic. But I found that people weren't getting the time to get the support that they needed to actually grow roots with friendships and have people to walk through difficult times. And again, as Andrew says, through good times as well and happy times. And it's great to have this as a hub because it means then that people can actually take time with each other instead of thinking, oh, I'm on week 6 now, I've only 2 more weeks to go, and then that's the end of the group.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Here's also we have there's an indefinite time frame on hubs, so we can, you know, and people will, you know, there's obviously a lot of people here that obviously couldn't come tonight and that still might want to be involved, and it's just getting to know some new people as well, which is exciting, and getting to know and being a part of people's lives. You know, so it's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. You know, and sometimes we will do a Zoom with everybody and just but mostly I think it's like we want to know what you would like to do as well.
Yeah.
We're getting entertained by Dave there. It's good.
Sorry, I was just having a funny turn there, you know.
Yeah,
It's me age, Stuart. It's me age. I have a funny turn every so often.
It's anything to do with accent.
Obviously will not be like running into the sea or anything like Dave's been doing just yet. Well, but you know, on his videos,
Oh,
but
dear.
anything else, like we're pretty much up for most things.
I know.
Well, don't stop running into the sea because Isaac absolutely loves it because he's a wee water baby as well.
It's all right.
Our grandson, so he absolutely loves it.
You can come in with me.
You and
You can
Wendy
come
are
in
doing
with me
stuff.
Anytime, Hazel. As long as it doesn't outrun me like Wendy does.
Guys, like you who are based in Akaduri and stuff, are you, you know, is it feasible for if like we do arrange a walk, say even round the forest some night or something, would you be up for that? Would that be something that you would be able to come to?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, provided
Yeah.
I'm not working. So.
Yeah, we should do it. It's gonna be nice next few days. And again, it's that thing where if you can do it, great. If you can't do it, that's okay too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not like anybody's checking a register. Here, can I share something with you? Because I think not that this is a small group, but I think this is where I think Hutch said it. You know, we get to share life. We get to encourage one another. We get to call out the goals in each other. We get to cheer each other on, and all of those things, right? And we get to put an arm around each other whenever you're allowed to do that. Obviously, you know, metaphorically at the minute, when we need it, and all that stuff. And I've been going through this bit of an adventure since Christmas of devotions. Right now, I know that sounds daft because I work for the church and all that, but I think I've rebelled against quiet time and having an official devotion for years, partly because I was brought up in a Christian home and partly because I thought I could always do it better. And it always felt awkward doing that stuff with my mum and dad, right? Matt, I don't know if you did that with your mum and dad, right? But my mum and dad did it with us, which now I look back and think, well, that was amazing. But at the time, it was deeply awkward, deeply uncomfortable. So I didn't really want to do it. So I was really rubbish at disciplining myself to have a devotional time. Well, the lockdown thing has really helped me and helped me focus. And so I've been getting up a bit earlier, maybe 7 o'clock or even 6:30. And at Christmas or New Year, I thought, right, I'm going to take the book of Mark and I'm going to read the book of Mark in January. And I did that. And if I'd read it the whole thing, I'd go back and start reading it again. And then I did John in February. And it felt like, do you know, sometimes you pick the Bible up and you feel like every time you look at it, it's the same thing that's being said to you. But it felt like over those 40, 50, 60 days, I felt like every time I opened the Bible, it would say something like, Jesus got up early to spend time with the Father, or Jesus spent the night in the garden, or Jesus got up before sunrise, you know? So I started to get all this stuff about, oh Lord, do you think, are you saying, should I get up early? And then I was around checking in with Hutch and Debbie one day, and I bumped into their daughter, and she was telling me how, I think the night before or the morning before, she got up at 4 o'clock to go to the beach. So I'm like, oh, that's way early, isn't it? You're mad. And I think they went in the sea, didn't they? They went in the sea, didn't they? So I'm like, you're mad. And then she starts telling me about this book that she's reading. and it's a novel, but it's all about the significance of getting up early. So I thought, Lord, I feel like you're challenging me to get up early. So over the space of a week, I worked my mornings to back to 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Getting up at 5 o'clock. And so for the last 4 weeks now, I've been getting up at 5 o'clock. Now, please don't hear that as like, oh, that's easy for you. It's a nightmare. It's so
We're
hard.
scaring that woman away there, see ya.
I won't get
Rescue the dog.
No, but
Scaring the
here,
life out of her.
over here. Listen, this is getting to the good bit. Okay, the good bit, because the good bit is this. I've just been learning that it's about surrender, about giving up and laying more of my life down so that he can give me more. And so I get up at 5 o'clock and I'm really properly tired for the first 10 minutes. And the guy in the book, he talks about writing a journal, which again, I've never done. I've never really felt disciplined or organized enough to write a journal. And so there was one morning I was looking around all the bookshelves trying to find a notebook. And we got loads of them, haven't we? But I couldn't find one. So I downloaded an app on my phone. And so I started to write a journal. Almost every morning I look back and it's like, oh, I feel nothing. I'm so tired, right? To start with. And then 10 minutes later, I just open my Bible or open my phone and I start to just read. And I've been reading the Song of Songs, or Song of Solomon. And again, it's probably one of the books in the Bible that I've just dipped in and out of. If you're doing like a talk with young people and you want to sort of tell them about sex and all that stuff, it's the book to go to. And but I read it in the Passion Translation, and in the Passion Translation, do you know how you read the red letter Bible in the New Testament and all Jesus's words are red? Well, in Song of Solomon, all Jesus's words are red, right? And so I read it, and I've read it through a few times now, and I keep going back to it, and it's just beautiful about what the Lord says about you and what he says about me. So I'm going to read you a bit, because I read this at 5 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 up with my cup of tea, and I literally have tears in my eyes. My eyes are moist because I'm just realizing again that even though I delight and look to get into the presence of Jesus, he so much more delights and looks to get into the presence of Dave, or gets into your presence. He is so much more hungry to get into your presence. This is what he says.
Dave,
yeah.
just before you read, can I say everything, right?
Yeah.
God spoke to me as well about getting up early in the morning, and he says to me, tell Dave to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Just shut your face, okay? Just shut your face, all right? That's not helpful. Right. So I say that in love, but firmly. So this is what he says. This is what Jesus says, or it's Solomon talking to the Shulamite woman, but it's a prophetic to us. He says, arise, my love. Now, as a bloke, that might sound weird, but I get over that. He says, open your heart, my darling, deeper still to me. So I'm like, oh, Lord, okay, I want to go deeper. I want to give you more of my heart. And then he goes, will you receive me this dark night? There is no one else but you, my friend, my equal. And then he says, Jesus says, I need you this night to arise and come be with me. You are my pure, loyal dove, a perfect partner for me, my flawless one. Will you arise? And the whole book is just full of that stuff. And I read it, and my heart gets full. And so the last 4 weeks, and this, please hear my heart, this is not me boasting or being arrogant in any way. This is just me sharing what I feel, and I can see my life changing. I feel my life is changing because I'm being intentional about spending more time with Jesus. I really can feel it. And I'm not saying everybody's got to get up at 5 o'clock. I'm really not. Hear my heart.
Praise the Lord.
I am. Okay. What I'm discovering is just surrender, the power and the significance of surrendering more to Jesus, and how when I do that, he's able to pour so much more into me. And when I don't, it's like there's no room for him. So what I found is I'm less interested in distractions. Honestly, I love watching Netflix. Now I did get distracted by Line of Duty the other day, because I'm a bit of a Line of Duty fan. But I'm less distracted by all of those things, by TV. It just doesn't mean so much to me. Now, it does mean I have to go to bed a bit earlier. but it really feels like I'm benefiting. And then there's a verse in the Song of Songs where Jesus says to me and to you, your life is like a feast to the revelers around you, right? And I read that and I thought, Lord, that's what I want. I want my life to be a feast. I want those people around me to know that when they're with me, that I have something to offer them. You know, that they go away feeling full, that they go away feeling encouraged. Oh gosh, we've got 10 minutes. They go away feeling encouraged. They go away feeling blessed. Do you know what I mean? And I think for much of my life, I don't know that I've felt I've got an awful lot to give. And I haven't really got a clue what I've got to give at the minute, but I just feel like I've got a lot to give. So there you go. I've rambled on enough. I'm going to stop.
Well, I'm going to be the less. We're going to be. See, me and Debbie's going to be the less spiritual part of this. And you know, he said he's not interested in TV. He bought a 65-inch one the other day.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
He bought a 65-inch one the other day. I just want to bring a bit of balance to this here.
You know,
You know what I mean?
you've had
I'm throwing him
prayer
under
right
the
now.
bus. I'm throwing him under the bus.
That was just a temptation, you know. Jesus got that temptation too, because he knew all about that.
Just want to throw him under the bus there, you know.
As always.
You know, so that's
These two are like Morecambe and Wise.
just,
Or Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how we're like it.
That's another fine mess you've got me into.
Yeah.
that's it.
All the time.
As you can imagine, with these two, it's going to be there's going to be a good bit of banter and a bit of fun. So.
Wait, I was the spiritual one, though, right?
No, but it's like,
That wasn't supposed to be fun.
He's the thorn in your flesh.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
in love.
Right.
Well, there you are. So
Let's start using that church app
Oh,
thing.
there's Keith.
Hello.
Hello.
Keith's in the house. Matt, Keith, how are you?
So yeah, start like we can download the Church Centre app, which would be great, and then we can organize some night we can go for a walk, or on the dog as well.
Oh, you Schnauzer, no?
Yes.
Huh.
Oh,
look.
He's a lot more quiet than ours is. Ours was bounding around there.
Just had to put ours out.
What I tell you, Michael was a fantastic dog one time. I don't know, is that you still got that dog, Michael?
Which one?
The one that kept eating the blinds.
We still have her, yes.
You still have her. So I do wonder blinds. And Michael had this dog, and if I'd seen him, it just went right through the blinds and chewed them. I don't know how many times we replaced that blind, you know.
I feel like we're getting a commercial break here. This
I was
feels
going
like
to bring it.
a commercial break.
2 times.
I was going to bring it up a bone.
What is that? That Chihuahua?
Oh,
We have a collie as well, but she's lying on the floor.
look. Oh, look.
What's that?
What is it?
I'm telling you, we could become the dog hub.
What is that? I want a dog.
Some big dogs, haven't you?
I
dog,
highly
is it?
recommend Chihuahuas.
Oh,
Chihuahua.
She's actually-
Yeah.
She's not even mine. She's Becky. Family dog. That and cat.
we have a cat too. Oh,
Oh, look, all the dogs are coming in now.
oh wow.
Like,
Right.
That's
What sort of dogs? That's that fiddle, no?
Don't forget we're recording this.
A
Oh,
cockapoo, yeah. There you are.
What kind of dog is that?
Stuart's sitting up there in the corner saying they're not
Ours
real
is a
dogs.
cockapoo as well.
Don't look at it.
Uh,
No, ours looks like a cocker spaniel.
I think
But
we were sold a dog.
Stuart's sitting up there saying they're not real dogs.
no.
That's right.
Go outside.
Well, 15 years ago, they wouldn't have been a real dog.
We've got a collie on the Jack Russell as well.
wow.
What's the one you have? What's the one that you had there? What did you get, Stuart?
I have a German Shepherd and 2 Vizslas, Hungarian Vizslas.
Aye.
But they're outside though, they're not inside.
Aye. That's
I think maybe we'll leave the dogs at home if we go a walk. No sound big dog.
Stuart,
Yeah, you leave. Yeah.
Just looking at this app, I've managed to download it, but they have my name in it wrong. Dave, do you know how to change it?
No.
What's
Andrew
your
will.
name? What's your name in as?
Michael Johnson,
Michael?
that actually is my name, but I'm Michael Stuart Johnson.
Oh, right.
So
Wait, do you want me to change? Because I can change it on plan and send it to Michael if you want.
I change it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Right. Okay. I'll go. I'll change it on plan and center.
On it. We'll get it done. What will?
Not that I was doing it when I was really listening to you, Dave. I wasn't doing it when you were talking.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. Candy Crush, was it?
He lost you whenever the 5 o'clock in the morning thing happened, didn't
Yeah. Five anyway.
it? Aye. That's
I'll
the.
have to do it. I'll have to do it on my laptop after. And
What time do you go to bed at, Dave?
So I try and get to bed at 9:30.
All right.
But you know, to be honest with you, we would normally go to bed at 10 anyway. But you know, I've got to get into a routine of having a nap about 1:30. So in church at the minute, because we're all having to bubble, so me and Andrea have a little office, and there's this old chaise lounge thing in the office. So I literally had a bit of a 10-minute nap on that during lunchtime
Do
today.
you realize if you're on any other job, you get sacked for doing that?
I know.
Well, here I'll tell you,
You
we
get sacked for doing that.
I'll tell you, Ethan, there was like when I first started working at the church years and years ago, it was only part-time and I was working in a bakery. So I was getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and then coming into church later on. And there was one time I was so tired. I thought I'll bring my pillow with me and I'd just have a nap during lunchtime. And so I was in my tiny little office. This is in Port Stewart. And I put my pillow on the desk and I just put my head down like this, which apparently is what they do in Japan. This is big in Japan. Remember that? Right. And then all I hear next is this knock on the door and Alan comes in. I'm like, oh, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, no.
Oh dear.
That's the be a suggestion for one of our groups. Dave could bake a cake for us.
There you are. That's good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, he didn't actually do the baking.
I can't.
All right.
Although he has baked a couple of cakes.
well, Andrew, I was thinking more you baking it and then pretend there was some.
You what?
I was thinking more you baking and then pretend there was some.
Oh right. He actually baked 2 nice ones recently
Come on.
for interns' birthdays, and they were very good. I was quite impressed.
I feel like the hub is working now. This is the building up bit rather than the tearing down part.
That's it. There we are. No, that's
I don't
So
know.
what's next? What do we
I'm
do
going
next?
to go get my laptop and then change.
Right, so she's going to change the name. But why don't we throw in like, you know, it's going to be lovely these next few nights, isn't it? Why don't we throw in like a walk in the forest? When we say forest, are we talking like the Trim Trail forest?
Which one's that? Is that the one out in
Somerset.
Castle Row, or is that the
Castle
one?
Row.
Yeah, the one opposite.
Castle Row.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if that coffee place is still there, like I don't know what time they close up.
Yard.
No,
That's
Caravan.
what's
No,
I
the
think they close at 5, maybe.
coffee, whatever it's called.
Coffee Hut.
It's coffee at the dock or something.
Coffee at the
coffee at the
dock, yeah,
dock, that's
that's-
right.
Coffee dock, yeah. Yeah, we could go grab a coffee, couldn't we?
Or grab a
Will we do it?
Tim Hortons.
I mean, there'll be a night, and we go to Tim Hortons. Yeah, we could walk to Tim Hortons.
Look who's
Ride
excited.
up in the cars and wind the windows down.
If we do it at 9:30 in the morning, then we could all get a $1.99 breakfast.
Michael, do you want to be called Michael or Stuart?
No, Stuart.
Right, but put
Stuart.
your name in as Michael.
It's on. That's Michael. Yeah.
Right. Michael, what's your email address?
Stuart.
Johnston 787
787.
at btinternet.com.
Right. Perfect.
Right,
Not
guys, I'm aware we've got 1 minute to go on me free Zoom.
Right. Okay.
So will we say Thursday evening?
What, this week?
Yeah.
On a Thursday.
I don't think so now.
We
Thursday, not.
can take Raymond on a walk virtually.
I'll go on a virtual, won't we?
We'll bring you.
I might have to virtual walk with you too, but I don't think I'm free this week.
Is that right?
I work to 7.
Is the weather
Okay.
like for, let me see.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
You're running out of time.
so it's to be quite good all really until all next week as well. So like you could do an afternoon. You could do like a Sunday afternoon if you fancied a walk, and then like Jenny, you could bring the kids and stuff. You know,
We'll put it on the thing.
we'll put
do
it on the church thing. Sure. Like Sunday's supposed to be really nice.